Why do you have to reference people's work? You have to prove that you have got a good amount of research, and you have to support that by referencing your research and support your analysis. It's also to give people credit for what they have done, because it's like stealing otherwise, and it's their information and their work. It's also to enable people to be able to figure out where you have got your information from and if it's real or not. To avoid plagiarism, this is to present others' work in your own. It is against the rules, and you can get into a lot of trouble doing that if someone can find out. 2 elements of referencing: in-text citation. In-text citation, this is usually the name of the author and the year. It can be very good when referencing, and you have to do it if you reference. There's one called a reference list. This is a list of all the websites that you have used, and you put them all down. You have to do this when you're researching. Otherwise, when you come to do researching, it'll make it look like you've just gone onto a bunch of websites, spent no time, and you've just copied and pasted it all. How to reference a book. You must know the author's name, the year the book was published, and you must know the title of the book, and the place the book was published, and the name of the publisher. Otherwise, without these, it's going to be very hard for you to find out what you've been referencing. How to reference a journal article. It's basically the same thing, but a few things added in and a few things took out. The way you reference a journal is different to a book. You have to find out the author's name, the year the article was published, title of the article, title of the journal, the volume and the issue number of the article, and the page range in the article. This is to make it so people can find what you're on about when you're talking about the article. How to reference a website. When referencing a website is most commonly different to referencing a book, because it's a lot easier to find information, and that's where a lot of people just copy and paste. And this is where plagiarism really kicks in, because people are lazy and they just copy and paste when they think. And they don't really think about plagiarism, but it is a thing, and people do one. So this is how you reference a website. When referencing a website, the first thing you need to do is find the author's name. This can be found at the top of the page, or sometimes in the About Me section, if there is one. The year the page was created. This can sometimes come up on the Google web page at the side, on the left hand side, or if you click on the web page, it can also be at the bottom where the copyrighted symbol is. Title of the web page, that's just the title, like the very first piece of words you see in the bold text. The full URL, that's where you get your website from, that's the link. The date you access the page, that's where you got your information on that day and when you went onto that website. The reason you have to research, because if you don't, you can get into a lot of trouble. And if you don't reference, it means that you're obeying plagiarism rules to use someone else's work and not credit them for what they have done. It's basically like stealing from them, but them not really knowing that you've done it, and it can be found out, and you can get into a lot of trouble if caught.